pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Simpson?
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani?
Here.
Commissioner Ovando?
Yes.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Okay. Reading, notice of called meeting was given in the following manner. Notice of meeting was transmitted to the Home News Tribune. Said notice of meeting and a copy of the agenda were filed with the Office of City Clerk on March 18th, and said notice of the meeting and a copy of the agenda were prominently posted on the announcement board in the lobby of City Hall at least 48 hours prior to the convening of this meeting.
Go to approval of the November and December minutes.
Make a motion to accept. Second.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Ovando seconded?
Yeah.
Thank you. Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Simpson?
Yes. Can I abstain? I didn't attend that meeting.
Oh, the
For that,
December.
the November 18th meeting?
No, no, yeah, November 18th. So, motion?
No,
Commissioner Giorgiani, you're granting the extension,
Yes.
Chair?
Yes.
Commissioner Ovando?
Yes.
Commissioner Walde?
Yes,
Okay.
December minutes? Motion?
Make a motion to accept.
Second.
Roll.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Simpson?
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ovando?
Yes.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll go to resolutions.
Resolution number 7 is a resolution authorizing and approving the payment of bills for the month of February 2016.
Motion?
To move.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Simpson?
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ovando?
Yes.
Commissioner Walde?
Yes.
Continue.
Yeah.
Resolution number 8 is a resolution accepting annual audit report for FYE 6/30/15 and ratifying and approving the audit submission.
Motion?
Make a motion.
Second, we want, excuse me, a point of information. We discussed this at the last meeting, right, and we went through that.
Correct, you discussed it at the last
Right,
meeting, and then
the
copies were
last
given
meeting.
to the board
Right,
right.
to review, so
All right.
yes.
Yes, I second that.
You want to go over it? Yes, please.
Pretty straightforward. Ready?
Yeah.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Simpson?
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ovando?
Yes.
Commissioner Walde?
Yes.
Resolution 5-0. Resolution number 9 is a resolution approving an interagency agreement with the Franklin Township Housing Authority.
Motion?
To move.
Second.
Point of information on that, Chair. John, can you just go over that just a minute?
Sure, as you know, we've had a long-standing relationship through an interlocal agreement with the Franklin Township Housing Authority. That agreement is being proposed as a $70,000 contract for us this year, the same as last year, to include staffing and management when needed, as well as an acting director service to help them manage their operations and programs. So the Franklin Housing Authority passed the resolution at the last meeting, and we're proposing that it be passed by the board at this meeting.
That's what I thought. Okay, I just see that.
And then we've been doing this for maybe...
I believe this is the 8th or 9th year
Ninth, yeah.
at different levels. This is the second year in this capacity.
This is a one-year agreement?
Correct, these are all one-year contracts.
Any other
Was
comments?
the motion second?
Yes, you have that.
Any other comment? No? Okay. Roll call.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Simpson?
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ovando?
Yes.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. That's all I have.
Yeah.
No old business, no?
No.
Okay. Any public comment?
Good evening, members of the board. It's an honor and a pleasure to speak to you today. My name is Charles Cradaville. I'm the editor of New Brunswick Today, a community newspaper here, and I am going to be recording my remarks and your responses today. I guess I had some questions about the resolution you just passed, the interlocal agreement with Franklin. Can you tell me, was the agreement reviewed by the board's attorney?
Yes.
It was, okay. And can you tell me who represents the Franklin Housing Authority?
The point of order, Mr. Chairman, my firm's conflicted out because we were recently retained as counsel to the Franklin Township Housing Authority.
Next comment?
What does that mean for someone to be conflicted out?
I'm unable to review the agreement for either agency because my firm was recently selected to serve as general counsel to the Franklin Township Housing Authority. So I've not reviewed the agreement for either New Brunswick Housing Authority or for the Franklin Township Housing Authority. Mr. Clark has handled this matter.
Okay, and is Mr. Clark an attorney?
Next comment? That's your comment?
Just asking, is Mr. Clark an attorney? I don't know.
No, he's not.
He's not, okay, so an attorney has not reviewed the interlocal agreement between...
We have this agreement for the last 8 years, so.
But the agreement changed within the past 2 years. It's a different agreement now, is what I heard.
You have another comment?
Yes, I'd like to express a concern that the housing authority might be stretched too thin. You know, this board repeatedly says that, you know, you're getting funding cuts and you're not able to keep up with basic responsibilities like providing records to, you know, a person like myself who's requested records. Why does the authority then try to take on other tasks at other authorities if you're unable to keep up with your own?
I've taken your comments. Another comment?
Sure. So I am concerned about that, and I'm concerned with the sort of the board's resistance to questions and resistance to you know, addressing concerns. There were a number of concerns I raised at the last meeting, specifically regarding the information I provided Mr. Clark on the first of the month, last month, February. I want to know, are board members, do you have certification to be on the board? You have to pass a class, correct?
Another comment?
Is that, do you have to take, is there a requirement, certification requirement to serve on this board?
Yes.
There is?
Yeah.
Okay, and can you please tell me if the two newest board members have met that requirement?
You can talk to John. You can get that information from John.
Sure.
Okay. You can.
Oh, okay. I can address that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, board members are required to take classes, and I believe that the two new board members are in the process of taking those classes. They have 18 months to complete that task.
Thank you for the accurate information. Can I also hear about the board member who's not here tonight, Mr. Cupano? When was the last time he was present for a board meeting?
Okay, additional comment? This is not a question and answer. You just give your comment and we'll take it into consideration. That's it.
Wow, okay, well then I'd like to express a concern.
Okay.
You know, sometimes people give me answers and then I say, oh, that's no big deal. I don't know what I was worried about.
This
But
is
when
a comment
people
period.
don't want to answer questions, then it throws up a red flag for me, so I've got to express a concern now.
You can
And my
throw anything,
concern
what
is
I'm
that
asking.
this board is supposed to have a member appointed by the state, right? A person appointed through DCA,
Mhm.
right? This is the same agency that your day job is at.
No, I'm not working for DCA, so.
Oh, DCA is not affiliated with HMFA?
Affiliation, I don't work for
Oh,
DCA.
okay,
so-
cool. Forgive me.
Okay. You have additional comment?
Yes, so my concern is that no one has been here, and all the time I've been coming to these meetings, I have not seen Mr. Cupano here once. And it's my understanding that, you know, after 3 times, there's supposed to be some type of, you know, reaction to a board member's absence. And I'm concerned deeply that there's no person serving that function. So I don't know, does anyone know, is he okay? Is he still interested in serving? Is there a reason he's not here, or he's never
I
here?
can't answer. You give me your comments and we'll.
Did he notify you he wasn't going to be here today, as he's supposed to under the bylaws? Did he notify the agency? Has he been notifying the agency? Okay. So, on February 1st, I provided information to the executive director outside of this meeting, and I gave the agency ample time to respond to the information I'd given. I did get some progress in that by February 4th, I'd been notified that Mr. Clark directed the AMP1 staff and management to not issue any more improper fines until further notice. And I believe at the last meeting, you mentioned it was under investigation. Can you please tell me, is it still under investigation?
You didn't say, what is under investigation?
The parking fines that were $50
You have to
on
follow up.
public roads?
You have to follow up with the office.
Sure. So is the board aware, is the investigation still going on, or is it over?
You can talk to.
Yeah, the review for the improper parking is ongoing. The AMP1 manager has issued some adjustments already, and will continue to issue adjustments as we complete the investigation, but it's ongoing, and it's improper parking, not improper fines. So it's improper parking fines for parking. I believe you had said improper fines, but it's, so that is ongoing, and we should have that completed probably in the next week or so, and we'll make a full report to the board. So
Okay,
I'm
can
sure-
you make your last comment?
Great, thank you. So the tickets are no longer being issued presently. There's a moratorium on it.
Yeah, yes. I just
Okay.
want to direct your question.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, thank
Sorry.
you. And so regarding my OPA request, supposedly at the last meeting, February 11th, was the most recent response, indicated the remainder of the responses would be coming to me by the end of the month. The attorney, who's different than the man who's here today but works at the same firm, said that's what we're anticipating, as in providing these records that I've requested by the end of the month. That has not happened. I've received no further communication after that meeting from your counsel, who also represents Franklin Housing Authority. And I'm concerned. In fact, I'm concerned about remarks made by board members who just got here saying that I'm doing a disservice to the public by asking for public records. And I think that it is not I who is doing the disservice. It is this board in terms of stopping the transparency cold and breaking the law to do
Your
it.
last comment, sir? Your last comment?
Can I get an answer? When am I going to get the records?
Mr. Chairman,
I've
this is
asked
a
for these
matter of
records.
litigation. Mr. Kravenfeld's filed an action against the New Brunswick Housing Authority, which will be heard in Superior Court on April 24th. So now that Mr. Kravenfeld has put the matter into litigation, we can't discuss it in open session.
Last comment,
Hey,
please.
you had your chance. So April 24th, I'll see you in court. And listen, like, there's nothing stopping you from providing the records. What you are doing is you are fleecing the people who fund this agency by spending the money on lawyers to fight against someone who's just simply asked for records that are public.
You're making the
Okay,
request.
I gave you,
And
your comment period is up. Can I have a motion?
who's
to
been
vote?
keeping the time? Tell me.
I have.
I have.
It's been 8 minutes.
Okay, so you guys work for 8 minutes every month? That's your job?
Can I have a motion to go to a closed session? So
That's not on the agenda.
I'd like to make a comment.
Yeah, there's other people who've not, the floor has not been open to other people.
Okay, can you make your comment, please?
Sir,
Sit down, let him. You turn us up.
okay, this is disgraceful. Stop wasting the money.
I'm a resident of Middlesex County.
Okay.
I just wanted to make the comment that, where should questions be addressed? Should they be addressed to the office?
Yeah, to the
Housing
office,
Authority,
yeah.
or- Because I,
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry, I didn't get your last name, I'm sorry.
Docs, DOCS.
DOCS, okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, any questions related to the housing authority should be addressed to the office, to the executive director.
But how would a person reach the board as a whole? If I go to the office, they might not even send the question to you. How do I know?
Have you made your request to the office?
No, but
Make your request.
from
and
my
then you-
experience, like from New Brunswick today, does it really require a lawsuit to answer someone's question?
Sir, do you have a request from Mr. Clark?
No.
If you wish to, the chair just instructed you to submit it. Don't presume we're not going to comply. Make your request.
I just think that's unprofessional of a board to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comment? Motion to adjourn, please? I mean, motion to go to a closed session.
What, for what reason? Point of information, that's public?
Well, I'm sorry, before you do that, I'm
Can't
sorry,
interrupt the
somebody
board's
made a motion prior to that. I believe it was Commissioner Caldwell.
Yeah.
Was that correct,
Yeah.
Commissioner? I just want to make sure. Okay, I'm sorry. And go ahead.
I'm sorry, is there a motion pending?
There's a motion pending right now.
Make a motion.
No, you,
Point of information, what's the reason for the closed session? Under the law, you have to say so.
Mr.
Please ask your attorney to check the law.
Let's finish.
Just wait
You
one
don't,
second.
you
Let
don't
the
even know
board
the
function.
procedure,
Let-
so let's finish the procedure and you'll have your question.
Let the
Thank
board
you.
function, sir. You're not letting the board function.
There's no notice on here that it's going to be a closed meeting.
We are making notice
Because it
right
wouldn't be
now.
open
The
to the
chairman
public if it's a
is
closed meeting.
proposing a resolution to enter into closed session.
To discuss what?
Let the motion proceed. You
Let's
can't
go through this.
interrupt the board's procedures, sir. You can't interrupt the board's procedures. You're being disorderly. Is there a motion pending before the board?
I believe you have a motion from Commissioner Caldwell and a second from Commissioner Ovando, I believe. Is that correct? I want to make sure. Thank you.
I'm gonna be
And the
filing a
motion is
complaint.
to,
I'm gonna
don't
be filing a complaint with the
interrupt. Sir,
mayor's
you're-
office.
You're being disorderly. Let the board
I'm
function.
being disorderly
Let
because
the
you're
board
kicking
function.
people out of a public meeting.
Okay, then we,
Is there, we haven't even.
You just said
we
closed
haven't-
session.
We haven't even voted on anything. For the record, let's be clear, you've now interrupted the board several times before they've even been able to put the motion forward. So, there's a motion pending to go into closed session, is that correct?
yeah.
And we need a vote.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session, please.
You're going to be discussing personnel matters then?
Will you please wait
Will you
to
let us
let us
finish,
finish what we have to do
No,
here?
you're kicking us
and you'll
out of a
give-
public meeting. We're here to say you're going to have a closed meeting, so we
Excuse me,
understand.
I don't want to get into this, but
Where does it say
no
you have
one
a
is
closed
kicking
meeting?
you out of a public meeting. It's a closed meeting.
When?
what
Okay?
purpose?
Where?
The
For
meeting
what
is
purpose?
already open.
Closed meeting?
There's a vote pending.
Just because you're pissed off, someone asked a question, you're going to close the meeting?
I didn't ask my voice.
There's a vote pending.
Yeah, you're upset that he asked you a question.
Okay. Let's call a vote.
The public can't ask you a question.
There's a vote pending before the board to enter into closed session. Is there a vote?
Roll
And
call.
all this is on videotape.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Simpson? Commissioner Caldwell?
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ovando?
Yes.
Wait, wait,
Mr. Chair? Hold on.
wait till the vote is called.
Motion passed 5-0.
A motion has been passed to enter into closed session. For the record, it is to discuss attorney-client and personnel matters.
For the record, I'm going to file a complaint with the State Housing Authority and the Federal Housing Authority. Thank you very much.
We have a motion to open the meeting.
So,
Second.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Commissioner Jones moved?
Second.
But- Roll call.
Right, roll call.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Simpson?
Yes.
Commissioner Caldwell?
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ovando?
Yes.
And Commissioner Walden. We are back in session.
The board is back in open session. The board had adjourned to closed session to discuss attorney-client privilege and personnel matters. The substance of the discussions will be disclosed to the public when the rights of the parties are no longer an issue and the legal matters affecting the housing authority are no longer an issue.
We have a motion to adjourn.
Make a
so
motion.
move.
Second.
Roll call. Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Simpson?
Yes.
Commissioner Caldwell?
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ovando?
Yes.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
I said a question. I had a question.
Meeting's over.